Hit it one more time.
Oh, there we go, green. Okay, I'll call this meeting of the RTM Community Development and Services Committee to order. We have 3 people present. We have Chair Clarence Casper. We have Representative David Hume and Representative Becky Matter. I declare a quorum. And we can start our budget review. Today, we'll be doing accounts 1010, executive management, 1046, planning and development services, CIP 7J, planning public works electronic document management system, CIP 8, Planning and Economic Development, A, Economic Assistance Fund, B, Open Space Acquisition, D, Economic Development Strategy, and E, Road and Drainage Standards and Subdivision Regulations. Start with Executive Management, account 1010. Overall increase in this budget is $13,319 or 3.8%. Personal services are up $12,419 and operating expenses $900. The proposed budget is $365,713, which is a 3.8% increase over the last year's budget of $352,394, primarily to budget wage increases. Does anyone want to talk to this from the town? No. The town manager is the chief executive officer of the town and is appointed by and directly responsible to the council. The manager is also an ex officio member of the representative town meeting, servicing as an advisor to them. The town manager plans, organizes, coordinates, and administers the day-to-day functions of the town government. The manager has the authority to appoint and dismiss all department heads except for elected officials or elected department heads. The manager is responsible for the preparation of the general government budget. The manager also accepts the Board of Education budget and presents a combined proposal for expenditures to the council. Before approving the budget, the council must hold public hearings. Following approval, the council sends the budget to the RTM for consideration and final approval. There are 3 cost centers. Cost Center 0, leadership and general support. Cost Center 1, legislative support. And Cost Center 2, budget preparation.
So very quickly, I just sent the town manager a quick text, seeing if he was zooming in. He said that you actually went through this budget item on Monday, 1010.
Ah, I think we might have, but I don't think so. No, we didn't. No. We did not.
Okay. And let me see if I can get him to zoom in to answer any questions of you. I think he thought that you folks did, otherwise you would have.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see him.
Okay. He'll jump on right now.
Yeah.
I think you were so efficient on Monday. You just you got through a lot of things quick.
Yeah, we did everything in an hour.
Yeah.
And everybody in the audience was happy.
Just forwarding some stuff to John. All right. Yeah. Oh, nice day out there. Too bad allergies are all the pollen's out and getting everybody too. All right, here's John.
Hello, sorry about that.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
I went
So-
so fast the other day, I was thinking we did it.
And now this is our first, executive management. Gone through the budget, what the budget is, what the cost centers are. Anything you want to add to the mix?
I don't think so. There's no real changes in my budget, just the just the required salary items.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say of the total budget, the leadership in general support portion was 167,934. The legislative support was $137,083. And budget preparation was 60,696. And I don't think anyone has any real questions or concerns about it on the committee anyway. Is that true? Okay. So we can move on.
Right. Thank you. Sorry
Nice
about
to
that
see-
again.
Nice to see you again.
You too. I'll be seeing you a lot soon.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John.
Bye.
Okay, the next item is Planning and Development Services, account 1046. Overall increase in this budget is 36,629 or 2%. Personal services are up 38,422 and operating expenses are down 1,793.
Okay, thank you very much again. So John Reiner, Director of Planning and Development Services. Not a real change in our budget this year, minor increase, that 2%. Most of that is due to salary increases, contractual salary increases. And, I think as those of you that are familiar with our department, we're building, we're planning, we're zoning, we're economic and community development, we are sustainability and resiliency. We, work with the community, get a lot of public feedback on how the town should grow and change over time. One of the few constants that we have is change, and how do we embrace that within the community? There's a lot of initiatives that we're working on this year that'll carry us forward to future years. We also receive a lot of grant funds to help just show what we bring in, as well as, we are the department that helps grow the grant list. And that's something I always try to bring to people's attention. One thing I really want to call out to folks in the budget, the last few years, I've been trying to bring some attention to this. When I first started working here, our team was about the same size, maybe one or two people less. And within like our total fees and what we were bringing in on a yearly basis, we're somewhere around $250,000. The last few years, we've been 700, 900,000. This year, we're projecting 700 again. Next year, I think we're going to be well over $1 million in fees from building permit applications because the volume of work that's coming in, and we haven't changed our building official staffing at all. We've been able to do that through efficiencies, through our intergov system. We're kind of hitting that balancing point soon where if things go up much more, we're going to need some additional staff, but that's not reflected in this budget yet. We're still trying to gauge that a little bit, but we're not just asking for money, but again, when you see in our financing plan, I think for this year, we had $700,000 for building permit fees that we're expecting. And then I think we put that same number in for next year, just to be on the conservative side, but I expect it to be a much higher number, knowing some of the applications that are going to be coming through. Happy to answer any questions about our overall operating and personnel budget.
Oh, what's the state land use? I got a question on that. You can get that. It's like,
Oh, so that's reimbursements that we have to do based on our permit activity. We then have to pay the state a portion of that fee.
okay.
Yeah, so that financing plan, some of that is what's coming in and
So
some,
this what's going out.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure have a lot.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that we balance and juggle.
You know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different cost centers. There's leadership and general support. Cost center 0, cost center 1, development and plan review, cost center 2, inspection services, cost center 3, enforcement, cost center 4, community development, cost center 5, economic development, marketing, cost center 6, long range planning, and cost center 8, land and use development commission support. You are a busy man.
Yeah, no, the team is busy. You know, after this, I have another meeting to go to, a focus group meeting on our plan of conservation and development. Tomorrow night, we have a meeting with the Planning and Zoning Commission. So yeah, there's a lot that happens during the day out in the field, and then at night with our volunteer committees like yourself or elected committees. So
Okay. Any questions from the other? Nope. Okay, we can move on to capital improvement program. The first item is Project J, Planning Public Works Electronic Document Management System. This is a shared vault space in the annex between Public Works and Planning and Development Services in the annex with the town clerk. Plans, project files, aerial photographs, and other documents that must be retained are stored there. Both departments are running out of storage room. Digitizing the plans and documents will save space and allow easier access by other departments and the public. The work can be completed over a number of years to limit disruption. Approved in fiscal year 24 were $100,000 for the first phase of the project and $25,000 for document service for a document storage server. Program for fiscal year 26 or $150,000 to continue the project. And then fiscal year 27 and 28 would be $100,000 a year to complete the project. I've made any change in this.
nope. So again, the expectation of the public and the people out in the world is that they can access everything from here. And, as in that description, we're running out of storage space. So we're trying to look at all of our past plans. We have to retain a lot of these documents forever, either digitally or in paper. We're trying to get things digitized, work them into our InterGov permitting software. So when people have questions about things, they don't need to call us. They don't need to come here. Instead, they can look it up on their laptop, on their computer at home, or possibly their phone. It is something that takes a fair bit of time from our staffing perspective. And it's going to be a multi-year project. We've already started it from money from fiscal year 24, and this will continue the project on. And again, something that planning and development and public works are doing in cooperation and working closely with our IT department on this.
Sounds good. I always like to be able to look online. Okay, the next item, CIP 8, planning and development, planning and economic development, is a economic assistance fund. This program provides funding for the construction of necessary public infrastructure improvements associated with new job creating development opportunities. The goal is to retain, support, and entice new job creating businesses to Groton by paying for public infrastructure improvements that are extraordinary in nature and usually beyond the business's ability to pay. Public improvements that would support these businesses can include water and sewer line extensions, electric and telephone extensions, public sidewalks, road improvements, installation of traffic control devices, street lighting, and downstream drainage improvements. Contributions to the fund are requested annually with appropriations made as needed. Program guidelines were established by the town council, which authorizes all expenditures. Program guidelines can be amended to address sustainability and resiliency measures such as the construction of rain gardens and bioswales for stormwater handling as program eligible expenses. A number of projects have been funding using this program, including infrastructure improvements at Sif Bake Shop, Grand Wine and Spirits, Bluff Point Village, and the Standard. Additional large applications are pending for private development in other areas of the town. As of January 1st, 2025, the uncommitted fund balance is $406,426. Requested for fiscal year 26 and programmed for fiscal year 27 through fiscal year ending 31 are funds $50,000 a year to continue the program and develop a reserve fund to enable the town to provide assistance for a larger project or to assist multiple projects in a short time period should they arise. Are there any questions from the members of the committee? Okay, hearing none. Move on to the next CIP. So that was the A account assistance fund. B is open space acquisition.
And open space acquisition, there was 0 in that.
A 0 in that. Okay. And that was quick. Yeah, I see that. Next item. Economic development strategy. Project D. We have 50,000. The town of Groton created an economic development strategy that was finalized in early 2019. Since then, the Office of Planning and Development team has worked to implement the plan with much success. As the town's job market, economy, business, yes, the town's job market, economy, business needs and growth, and the housing needs change, it is important to revisit and update the economic development strategy. The new Groton 2035 Plan of Conservation and Development that is currently under development will broadly address economic development goals and strategies for the town, and an updated economic development strategy is needed to build on this plan to further articulate a clear vision and chart our economic goals and actionable items for the next 5 to 10 years. Our economic goals should work in conjunction with the goals of the POCD and the Climate Action Plan, working strategies of both documents into a more resilient Groton. The economic development strategy update will be based on extensive community and stakeholder engagement. Will be based on an extensive community and stakeholder engagement process. It will be endorsed by the Economic Development Commission and the Town Council. The strategy will be used as a guide for the town's work to grow, develop, and support businesses. The project will take between 9 and 12 months and requires the hiring of a consultant that specializes in community engagement, best practices, and economic and development strategies. Again, it's 50,000 is requested. Wow, who wrote that?
I think that was me. A mouthful there.
It's a mouthful. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Next CIP is skipping the page. Oh yeah, flip the page. Okay, we did that. So we're on to sewer line infrastructure repair.
No,
No,
road and drainage standard.
road and drainage standards. Wrong side, Project E. Groton subdivision regulations govern the division of land into 3 or more, govern the division of land of more than 3 or more building lots and are implemented by the Planning and Zoning Commission. The regulations have standards for the development of roads, for the provision of open space and recreation areas, and for the provision of proper utilities. These regulations were last updated in 2006. All new road and drainage construction must adhere to road and drainage standards. The standards were last updated by the Public Works Department in 2002 and are incorporated by reference into the subdivision regulations. Both of these documents should be updated to incorporate current low impact development standards, current stormwater quality management standards, policies from Groton 2035, and strategies from the Climate Action Plan, and to be consistent with the town's complete streets policy. Requested for fiscal year 26 are funds 85,000 to hire an engineering and planning design team to update the subdivision regulations and road and drainage standards. Wow.
So this is something we've been kind of kicking the can down the road and for a while, but it's hitting that point where we really need to update these.
Yeah, well, 2002, 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can agree on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that is our last item.
All right.
All right, so do I hear a motion to accept the budget items as presented?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, you can vote. Aye, it's unanimous. 3-0.
Thank you.
I now adjourn this meeting.
3:25.